Who's ready for Dragon Age 2? Before we jump into it, thought I'd start a little side thing here. I know you can't see it. I just wanted you to be present for it. Because I'm about to uninstall Dragon Age Origins. Probably for the last time. Just for fun. Let's go check our Steam version of this. Let's go check this. What about Golems, Von Falkenstein? What? Explain yourself. That's weird, oxymoron. I'm not sure what to say about that. Maybe they finally added resub, which we already did it. We did it yesterday. Oh, Falkenstein. We're done. Like, anyways, that's just there it is. 288.9 hours on Steam for this game. Jesus. Pretty sure that includes the Nightmare Run. That's what I was curious about. That's just the Steam thing, by the way. Ah. Goodbye, Dragon Age Origins. So, Dragon Age 2. Also known as Lartek. Thank you, Zlartek, for your timely interruption. As always, I do appreciate. Let's see, we're putting that towards Messenger, Planescape Torment, Sea of Stars. Obviously, why would you say only Von Vulcan? I'm sorry. Hang on, let's talk about the score. So for those of you not aware, Dragon Age Origins got 200 plus. I'm not even going to give you the specific number because it doesn't matter at that point. Oh my god. Do you know how extraordinarily high 200 plus is? Like, most games are lucky to break 100 plus. And most of those games only barely manage that. Being able to break the 200 barrier is huge. I mean, if I'm to look at every game I've reviewed, we can just do a little math here really quick. 1, 2, 3. It's about 8% of the games we've reviewed are 200 plus, which I suppose doesn't sound like that small amount. I blame the good games we've been playing. No, Mass Effect 2 got a 277. Unless you mean Mass Effect 1. Look, it's not my fault it's a good game, Colgrim. I don't know what you want from me exactly. Anyways, ignore Colgrim. He's just memeing. Anybody who knows anything 200 plus is bonkers good. It's what I would normally call top 10 territory. It's just we already have about 20 of them. 21, actually. Thank you, Oxymoron. I will put that towards the Resident Evil block, Stray, and DBZ Kakarot. I just wanted to emphasize that because one of the things that people are speculating is if Dragon Age 2 would score better than Dragon Age Origins. No. I don't think Dragon Age 2 is going to be able to break the 200 marker. I really don't. The odds of that happening are quite low. Yeah, no kidding, Oxymoron. Anyways, moving on. Dragon Age 2, God, I've talked a lot about this. I've even done a lore run on this game where I have shared a lot about the specifics of the behind the scenes. But I want to talk about 3 things in particular. First is the fact that people won't stop subbing to me. Quit it! Why are you doing this? Why do you do this? I don't understand. Thank you, Dragon's Hunter. I will jot that down for KOTOR Remake, assuming it ever comes out. KOTOR 2 and God of War 5. Caveat emptor, by the way, on KOTOR Remake, because it's currently on indefinite hiatus, so we'll see. Anyways. Did I already send out the announcement? There's the announcement. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the YouTube video. Who cares? Nobody watches those anyways. Pumpernickel, there you go. Back in the day, a demo for this game came out. How many of you remember that? And the demo was kind of cool. It was just the opening escape sequence and, like, one other quest with Isabella, one of her quests. And that's it. And that was cool. And I liked it quite a bit, actually. And I was into it. And this makes sense, even with the advantage of hindsight. I will say, even as of this moment, that I think the demo was pretty legit and did a nice slice of two actually good sections of gameplay. And as I've said many, many times, Dragon Age 2 has good gameplay. It just has very repetitive gameplay, which drags it down. That is the very point of Dragon Age 2 syndrome. It has, by definition, it's not Dragon Age 2 syndrome if it is not initially fun, if it's not initially enjoyable. And then it gets ground into the ground to the point where it becomes a negative, right? I know this is going to sound strange, but Dragon Age 2 will probably get a negative, or 3, for Dragon Age 2 syndrome. But, anyways. So, that's going to suck. But, haven't we done Infinite Cauldron? No, I guess we haven't, have we? I don't know if Bioshock's on the list. Could you check for me, please? But I had fun with the intro. And that was what the demo was. In fact, I had so much fun with the intro that I did it again. Initially, I played a mage. That was okay. It was fun. But then I played a rogue. And, well, I didn't like that much, I'll be completely honest. Found myself kind of pushing through it. But then I played a warrior. And I immediately fell in love with the warrior. It was exactly what I wanted out of this kind of combat system. Lots of AoEs and lots of big, sweeping, awesome attacks and some control and some survivability. And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed playing warrior in this game quite a bit. Don't particularly like playing rogue and haven't ever really played mage. So when Dragon Age 2 came out, I played warrior, because of course I did. That's what I liked from the demo. And my first playthrough was weird. The whole time through, I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting for the game to acknowledge the first goddamn game, which it kept not doing. There would be occasional 1 or 2 line cameos, or occasionally there'd be like a letter in the background, and that would be it. And that kept bothering me. In fact, it bothered me so much that I didn't really process whether I liked or disliked Dragon Age 2. Instead, all I could feel was disappointed. I wanted the Mass Effect 2 to Dragon Age Origins. I wanted acknowledgement. Maybe not completely change the world state, although that'd be nice, but something. I should probably mention I did a fresh playthrough of Dragon Age Origins on easy to speed it up. Immediately, or no, that was normal, wasn't it? Whatever. Not on Nightmare is the point. Immediately prior to playing 2. So I went from playing Origins, getting the epilogue from Witch Hunt, and then minutes later, I played Dragon Age 2. So that completely tainted my opinion of that game for quite a while. I did eventually finally go back to it and played it for an unrelated reason. I was like, okay, it's a bit better. Once I play the game for itself, I can appreciate it a bit more. Then I played it for the stream. One and only one time. We did it for the lore run. And what I was really shocked by during the stream was how good it was. And I was very confused because at the time that hadn't happened all enough. Nowadays, there's plenty of times where my memories of a game do not line up with the reality of a game. But at the time, it was one of the first times that happened. And we weren't even reviewing it. We were just doing a lore run. There are 2 reasons for this. 1, for the purposes of the lore run, recranked the difficulty down to easy. And lo and behold, I was enjoying it more. And 2, well, the minute we hit Act 3, my opinion of the game plummeted. And it was just like, oh, that's why I remember this game so badly. Because, of course, I remember Act 3 more than anything else. You know, outros, right? We talked about this. Intros and outros. Intros and outros. So, okay. Cool. That all makes perfect sense. But I've always wanted to sit down and actually review this game. And I'm kind of glad that this isn't an audit run, that we are being able to do this fresh and just kind of move through it and see what we think of it. Because I have no idea how this is going to review, really, at least in its final score. I'm pretty sure most characters and moments and elements of the game will be a situation where we will give a positive to it, and then we will also simultaneously give a negative to it. Because that's Dragon Age 2 in a nutshell. But that leads me to the other thing I wanted to talk about. You're probably sitting there thinking, why does Dragon Age 2 suck so badly, but is also so good? Well, it's very simple. It's because of Tokyo Vampire. Thank you, Tokyo Vampire, very, very much. I will put that towards Yakuza Kiwami too, but as a reminder, you can put it towards 2 other things for no additional cost. Oh, and Colgrim, I don't allow you to add new games to the list if you're donating to anything else, so if you want to add Bioshock Infinite, you can, but that's the only thing it'll go to, so that's up to you. In order to talk about the development problems in this game, we have to talk about Tor. Now, every now and again, I get someone who doesn't know what Tor is, and that's because, for some ungodly reason, everybody on the internet calls it SWTOR instead of Tor. That's dumb. I call it Tor. Moving on. Okay, you got it, Colton. Bioshock 2. So Tor stands for the Old Republic. It's an MMO. But they started development in 2007. Really think about that for a moment. They started development on Tor before Dragon Age Origins came out. Really think about that. Tor came out in 2011. Here's the problem. Tor's quality doesn't matter. Not for this purposes. Has nothing to do with anything here. The only reason that Tor is relevant is because it fundamentally changed how BioWare was developing in all of their studios throughout that entire gargantuan chunk of time. It's about 4 years during which all of their development cycles were all changed. Dragon Age Origins was affected by Tor. Mass Effect 2 was affected by Tor. Mass Effect 3 was affected by Tor. And Dragon Age 2 was affected by Tor. So the Dragon Age team, oh, and several of the DLCs we just did, were affected by Tor. So all of these games were all being affected by the development of Tor and the fact that it was taking up an arduous amount of resources. They actually went and designed an entire other separate studio to handle the bulk of the work. But of course, that's not how that works, is it? It's not like you can just offload everything for your pet project and then, you know, go back to your day job. No. People were being pulled in and out constantly in order to deal with Tor. But Tor has such a non-stop issue and impact on everything during this era that I couldn't even possibly summarize it for you. But what we need for Dragon Age 2 to really understand is that Tor was taking longer than expected. And EA has this thing, you've probably never heard of it, called the Quarterly Report. The Quarterly Report is a concept where any individual company has to give a report every quarter to their investors saying, hey, this is what we did. And they need to make sure that that quarterly report looks good. Now, what is defined as good varies, but in general, making more money than they made last quarter is considered a good thing. If the company puts in a bad quarterly report, then morons and idiots will either try to divest themselves from the investment of that particular company, and or its stock will plummet, lowering its value, which will also probably cause divestment, or worse, investment, and other people start buying in and start making more demands of the company. So most companies try to make sure they have a good quarterly report. Unfortunately, this is responsible for, near as I can tell, 872,000% of the problems that we have in game development. Slight exaggeration. So EA was having issues because Tor was supposed to come out at a certain point in time. And they were like, you know, it's not ready. It's not coming out. We can't make it. What do we do? No problem. We'll just push Tor further forward. Like, right, we gotta hit that. And they were like, no, it's not happening. Tor is not coming out. It cannot be released in the state it's currently at. Okay. Cool. What else you got in the books? Well, we're in the middle of working on Dragon Age Kirkwall. Okay, cool. Release that. What? Because Tor took so long and didn't release when it was supposed to, and because EA wanted a good quarterly report, Dragon Age 2 was given, on the high end, 11 months of development time. Oh god, it was so, it's just and honestly, everything stems from this. Everything about Dragon Age 2 in one level or another stems from this. And by the way, the reason I say on the high end, there's some kind of slightly inconsistent evidence on this in both directions. But nobody's ever said it took more than 11 months. So I usually quote 11 months because at absolute worst, that's still accurate, right? That's still as much time as it could have taken to make the game. Some reports say it was actually 8 months, and there's reports that are in between. It's probably depends based on what you count as development time, because there's pre-production, and then there's like the vague production, then you get your full cycle, and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, 11 months is absolutely bonkers. Everything that is, I shouldn't say everything, let me not exaggerate. An inordinate quantity of the things wrong with this game all boil down to that 11-month timer. Especially since, as every interview I've ever read says, they knew exactly what they were doing with Dragon Age 2. This is why the game is as good as it is, because they were firing on all pistons. The team had gotten to know each other, and had gotten to work with each other, and had gelled with her. There's a lot of good teamwork going on after the Dragon Age Origins 6-year nightmare. The management staff knew what they were doing. They were very, very efficient. You know, just bam, bam, bam. They knew what they were doing, and they were knowing exactly how they were doing it, and it was lining up very smoothly. So the team was pushing out good quality product, relatively speaking. They were just given very, very little time. Oh, and also very little support. And that means, well, what we have as a result of that is Dragon Age 2. Now we may have to do an adjustment here super quick. Oh yeah, we will definitely have to do an adjustment here. Hang on, this might be an issue. Oh, Jesus Christ, come on. Oh, there's more impacts than that, Latario. There we go. Yes, I know you can't see it. Wait a minute. Gotta have blood. It's all about the blood. It's all about the blood. There we go. Why did they reskin the Darkspawn? Oh, that's easy. It's a new engine. Dragon Age Origins is built on the name of it right now. It's built on a variant of the engine. The Neverwinter Nights engine. The KOTOR engine. The Jade Empire engine. It's that engine. It's the engine that they've been using for frickin' years. When it came to Dragon Age 2, one of the biggest things they wanted to do was go ahead and do an overhaul for the future. Especially since this was originally intended to keep going forwards in several different ways and lead up to the actual third game, which I don't want to get too much into right now. So, a lot of the variances and differences in this game boil down to that, as far as not being good, bad, or in between, just being different. So I want to double check a couple things here super quick. I do want to show those and those. And those. We'll leave tutorials on just for fun. And I think I'm going to have to change this one. Probably. Maybe not. There it is. I think it should do it. I already said that, Colgrim. I even explained why we're doing it, Colgrim. We are doing female mage. Now, let me be clear about this. I thought about playing Malehawk but I'm not going to because I don't want to. And that's the answer to that. Male Hawk is certainly an acceptable actor, but female Hawk is just better in every way. She also looks cooler. Now, there's one other thing we're going to do. This is kind of strange to me, but we'll talk about that in a second. Oh yeah, we also need to talk about this. So there's the best character in the game right there.
I've had gentler invitations.
I am Cassandra Pentecost, Seeker of the Chantry.
And just, what are you seeking?
The champion.
Which one?
You know exactly why I'm here. Time to start talking, dwarf. They tell me you're good at it.
It's a waste of a good book.
What do you want to know?
Everything. Start at the beginning.
Yeah, I caught that. Also, I think there's an option which you... So those are Darkspawn, by the way.
Scouts. We will have to fight them sooner or later.
Then we make our stand here. Prepare yourself. To arms!
Yeah, I took a minute to pull the options menu up. That's probably going to be under audio. Yep, there we go. Also, is it anybody else? It's really quiet. It's cranked to max, but it's just quiet. Is that just me? Yeah, I'll check the other option in a second. No, it's at full tilt. Weird. Alright, whatever. Where would that be? Nope, that's off. Weird. Alright, whatever. Oh yeah, Bethany has big boobs here. Yay. Okay.
May I trust they guide you?
Yeah, well, might actually give some brickwork positives to this game. Oh, that'd be for weird.
We can't keep this up forever.
Perhaps we'll be lucky, and they'll run out of Darkspawn.
Here they come. Shall I give them a taste of my blade?
Allow me.
But that's not what I picked. No, whatever. Oh yeah, we also have to talk about Tor Effect, which I've tried to rename a few times, but unfortunately the term caught on, so now everybody calls it Tor Effect, so sorry about that.
There's no end to them.
Bullshit. That's not what really happened.
Does that not match the story you've heard, Seeker?
I'm not interested in stories. I came to hear the truth.
What makes you think I know the truth?
Don't lie to me! You knew her even before she became the champion.
Even if I did, I don't know where she is now.
Do you have any idea what's at stake here?
Let me guess. Your precious chantries fallen to pieces and put the entire world on the brink of war. And you need the one person who could help you put it back together.
The champion was at the heart of it when it all began. If you can't point me to her, tell me everything you know.
You aren't worried I'll just make it up as I go?
Not at all.
You'll need to hear the whole story.
So, okay. Now we get to character creation. So, this may or may not surprise you, but we're immediately going to give out some positives and negatives for the exact same thing. This is going to be a trend. So, first of all, let's just get this out of the way. Varric is awesome. Best character in the entire franchise. Let's talk about the framing device. I don't like the framing device. It gets a little bit ridiculous, especially when you consider how relatively long this game is and how many random things we can go off and do. And I always just find myself thinking that Varric's there like, yeah, so we decided to go down the beach and we were looking for this one dude and Aveline really was trying to get laid. I mean, oh my god. And she decided to go up the thing. We finally was getting there, and the dude was just like, what the hell? And Aveline was really upset about it, and she was yelling at, you know. I get it. But the problem is, it is simultaneously over and underused, because the game relies on it a bit too much in order to kind of set the scene, and doesn't really do anything with it, except for, like, twice, really. One of those is at the beginning, which is decent. And one of those is, you know the quest. I'm not going to mention it, but you know the quest. And that's a good quest. And it's a good usage of the framing device. But other than that, it might as well not even be there. In fact, I actually think it detracts from the narrative. Oh yeah, that's another thing I don't like about the framing device. The argument that people have used for years upon years, not the developers, I feel like mentioning, but people, like Jordan just now, have used for years and years, is that, oh, well, you know all those issues and problems and inconsistencies? It's unreliable narrator. If you ever wonder why I don't like the unreliable narrator, that's why. Right there. That is the reason. Because obviously there are good purposes and usages behind having an unreliable narrator. Duh. But when it's used as an excuse to essentially gloss over plot holes or inconsistencies or you know, people who are making a game in 11 months, not with that. Oh, looks like I just lost chat. Perfect. Wait, chat just came back. Perfect. Thank you, DZ Maven. As always. And we'll go ahead and jot that down for Metal Gears, Starfield, Phantom Liberty. Whatever that is. Which one's Phantom Liberty? They do use the unreliable narrator, I think twice in this game. One of which we will, of course, not see. Okay, that is the okay, so Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty. Thank you. So, anyways, framing device, cool. Whatever. Moving on. Varric is awesome. Cool. I'm not going to talk about the gameplay yet, but I do want to talk about the character creator. It's okay, but the thing I find funniest about this character creator is all of these suck, and I have spent a considerable amount of time in this character creator trying to come up with something cool. And I have always failed. I always go with the default because it just looks better than anything else I have ever been able to come up with. I believe you, Caspian. That's not true. I do not believe you because I tried. I would love to be able to just edit this, and I've in fact tried that. I've tried to make it so that we are like her, but like a little bit different, but nope. Yeah, anyways. Let's see, we will call her, I don't care. We already did Loretta. And we'll do this one. Yeah, let's import our save, which is that one. Yep, that one. Yeah, let's go ahead and start. We're gonna leave it on. Okay, so, right, we need to talk about difficulties. So I kind of already gave this one away, but I've never. So I had not played this game on a harder difficulty option until finally I was doing the lore run. If you remember, during the lore run, we cranked it down, and all of a sudden, just immediately, my enjoyment of the game skyrocketed. Now, first of all, that's not a good sign. But second, and much more importantly, it changes the nature of how the game plays, in my opinion. Let me try to explain that a little bit. If you have to... I was playing it on hard. I've never done this on Nightmare. If you have to really think about and work and push yourself through every encounter, that's fine. In fact, that's arguably a good thing. But then if you have to do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, then that is the definition of factory worker syndrome. I have given many games negatives for factory worker syndrome because it sucks. And there's just so many encounters that it just gets old. Even if each encounter is interesting, it just gets old by sheer virtue of repetition, which is Dragon Age 2 syndrome. But then I cranked it down to casual, and all of a sudden, the game changed, because at that point it became more of a Dynasty Warriors game. The focus on the playstyle suddenly switched from, you know, very, very carefully trying to maneuver through an encounter 70 billion times to effortlessly mowing down large swaths of enemy a few billion times. And that kind of worked. And like I said, I was just like, oh, okay, this is so much better. Holy crap. I don't think the game gets credit for that. I just wanted to share my own opinion on the matter. So we will be playing on Turbo Casual. But let's talk about the difficulty options. Now, this is interesting. Once again, all of these should be a separate toggle. We talked about that in Origins. Unfortunately, they are not. So Friendly Fire is on for Nightmare. Only for Nightmare, by the way. So that's kind of cool. Enemy health is changed based on it. Enemy damage is changed. Enemy attack speed. Enemy gets regen on higher difficulties. Their cooldowns are quicker. Their effects last longer. And you have less potions you can carry on harder difficulty. So that that sucks, to put that as absolutely nicely as I can. Because that's not great. But it is good enough, just like in Origins, that I don't think I'm going to give that a positive or a negative. The only you might think, like, what about the boring thing? That's not related to the difficulty. That's related to the encounter design. So yeah, it's not quite lazy difficulty, so no negatives there.
The Blight had been unleashed on Ferelden. Dark spawn poured out of the wilds, clashing against the army at the ruins of Ostagar. The battle was a disaster. King Kalen died on the field with his men, betrayed by his most...
For those of you who haven't played Dragon Age Origins.
Unopposed, the Horde marched on the village of Lothering. The village burned, and many innocents were slaughtered. The champion's family barely escaped in time.
I don't actually mind the as you know, by the way. It helps to establish why we're here right now. There's our mother's giant rack. Just gonna point it out once, and we're gonna move on.
I think that's all of them.
For the moment, make us save us. We've lost it all. Everything your father and I built.
I have been told by multiple writers to this game that Purple Hawk is Ideal Hawk. Oh, speaking of which, we might as well talk. I brought it up briefly. We might as well talk about Tor Effect here. Listen, random heroes. It's gone. Literally, it actually shredded to the point of having to be tossed. So that's why. I mean, I wouldn't wear it now anyways. I'm not going to lie to you. I've always been a black and white guy. Yeah, all of them popping it. Including elderly women. Anyways. So, Tor Effect. What is Tor Effect? In case you have never played Mass Effect or Tor, Tor Effect is when you see dialogue on the screen, you click it, and you say something else. Tor Effect is specifically when there's that contrast between the two. So, I'm saying that wrong. Because obviously there's always a contrast. 100% of the time, it's a contrast. Think about it for 5 seconds, Galgrim. But, if it gets in the way of the choice you think you wanted to make, if there's ever a moment you've picked a dialogue option and you've said, that's not what I meant to do, that's Tor Effect right there. And, we'll see how bad it is. There will probably be a negative for Tor Effect, but we have to gauge that. We have to pay attention as we're going through in order to see how bad it is. Because it was variable during the Mass Effect, for example, and Tor itself. Anyways, we will be Green Hawk, though, because that's my personal favorite.
I know how much Lothering meant to you, but we have to move.
Yes. You're right.
We should have run sooner. Why did we wait so long?
Why are you looking at me? I've been running since Ostagar.
Listen, you two. The Darkspawn could be on us any minute.
Please, listen to your sister.
Then let's go. Lead on.
Oh yeah, by the way. We have a voice actor now. So, let me go ahead and say, plus for voice acting. We'll debate how many that goes as we go. Okay, so yep. Let's leave interface for later. We have some discussions about the interface. We'll get to that. Okay, so let's talk about the Mass Effect Trot. If you've ever played any one of these games, you know what the Mass Effect Trot is. It's when your character runs like this. At this point, I'm starting to think it's a joke. Like that BioWare is aware of the fact that they cannot, to save their lives, actually make a freaking run animation. Are you gonna attack, game? Strange. it's such a bad run animation.
Wait. Where are we going?
Away from the Darkspawn, where else?
And then where? We can't just wander aimlessly.
70 billion times random. Or more accurately, less times than I've played Dragon Age Origins.
Wherever we go, what's important is that we don't separate.
We can go to Kirkwall.
Kirkwall? Are you sure that's wise?
Yeah, that's the worst decision imaginable.
A lot of Templars in Kirkwall, Mother.
I know that, but we still have family there, and an estate.
Then we need to get to Gwaran and take ship.
If we survive that long, I'll just be happy to get out of here.
Be careful!
Nah, it's fine. So there's my second favorite character in the game.
You will not have him! They will not have you. Not while I breathe. Stop squirming, Wesley. You'll make it worse.
Apostate, keep your distance.
Well, the Maker has a sense of humor. Darkspawn and now a Templar. I thought they all abandoned Lothering.
The Spawn are clear in their intent, but a mage is always unknown. The Order dictates.
Wesley.
The Order dictates.
Dear, they saved us. The Maker understands.
Of course.
I am Aveline Valenne. This is my husband, Sir Wesley. We can hate each other when we're safe from the Horde.
A strange time to be hunting apostates. His fellows left with the Chantry priests.
I was traveling to Denerim on business for the Order, but I had to turn south when I heard of Ostagar.
Bad luck and judgment brought us together here before the attack.
The nice Templar has been convinced to postpone his hunt for illegal mages. So let's not dwell upon it, shall we?
Wise girl.
You're quick to offer your allegiance.
Another blade between us and the Darkspawn? Yes, please.
So long as the Horde is their first concern.
My duty is clear, but that is for another day, if we are granted that opportunity.
We will be fine. We all will.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna die, so, you know.
For a while, it looked like we were the only ones to escape the Darkspawn.
We aren't free of them yet. You didn't see Ostagar. This is just the start.
You were there. Yes, I see it now. Third Company, under Captain Varel.
Then you saw how the whole of the army was defeated.
We fell to betrayal, not the Darkspawn. This arm of the Horde will not have the same advantage.
How bad is that wound?
I think my sword arm's a loss, even with healing.
Then you will have mine, as always. For now, we move with you. North is cut off. We barely escaped the main body of the Horde.
Then we're trapped. The wilds are to the south, that's no way out.
We have no choice. The Darkspawn have us fenced in. We go south.
Oh, yeah. This is a good time as any to mention that, that's just weird terrain. Very Mass Effect 1-y, isn't it? This is a good time as any to mention that I don't like Bethany or Carver. But I like Carver a lot less, because Carver is the worst character since Anora. No, scratch that. He's actually worse than Anora. If you took like 15 Anoras and like slammed them into one creature, you might have Carver. Okay, I'm being facetious. But, I am being facetious. That's why I called out Anora. I am not joking, though. Having said all of that, I'm not exactly a fan of Bethany. She's just kind of vanilla. So I like how it's like, you should level up. You should level up. It's just going to sit there telling me that until I do it. So, yep, okay, yep, yep. So, here's a plus that this game is going to get, and that is info in-game. It's a little bit more ARPG-y, but I don't mind because it's telling me all the stats that, you know, it should. We see the exact derived stats here, and we see all the things here along with the specific percent, and the relative DPS we'll be putting out. And all that stuff is cool. I'm with it. Cool. Neat. Moving on. So we're going to go ahead and do that and that, I believe. So then we got this. This is, well, this is a thing. Gosh, I'm not actually sure what I should go with here. I mean, I suppose we could just go fire and ice, but like, yeah, it's... We'll debate it as we go. One thing I do like the idea of is the sub thing. So you can only see it when you zoom in. So we can get Winter's Grasp, but later on we can also upgrade Winter's Grasp, which I'm with. Do non-elemental. I'll take some advice, Caspian. I've never played a mage, so I will take some advice here. I want as many AoEs as possible. Whatever that is. I just want AoE death. She's stealing my carrots. I don't know if I'm going to survive without this.
I left one.
Tell you what, I'll give you one more for the road. How's that sound?
No.
No, take it. Take it. My own niece doesn't like carrots. Who knew? So, elemental. Got it. Wait, what are you doing? You could have just asked for a friggin' carrot. Here, take another carrot. That's Lord. I don't know, Blade Taval. I'm apparently a terrible uncle if she doesn't even like carrots. Okay, what do we got? Primal, Arcane, Spirit. Oh, God, I gotta remember what all these abilities are. Okay, so... Something I do like, something that other games, later games use, is iconography distinction. I could point it out right here. Square is obvious. Circles are passives. Hexagons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagons are sustains, and diamonds are abilities. Cool. I'm with that. I actually very much like that, because it's great immediate visual distinction of just looking at it, and you can tell what you're going for immediately. Yeah, also true. There's also color distinction. Each of the trees is immediately distinguishable from the others, just at a glance. In fact, even the fire and the frost one has both fire and frost. I'm with it. Cool. So that's some good stuff. I'm with that. I'm with that. Let's put that under here. So we're going to go and go with the elemental, because this is apparently our AoE fun. Let's see here. Fire damage is cool. Bigger area for fire damage is cool. Firestorm is cool. Bigger area is cool. Increased brittle chance. It's cool. Also increases our mana regen. So we'll go with that for now. We'll see where that goes. Bethany, you're going to have a long, long career of Night Party. So we're going to go ahead and put you down here in Spirit. So Spirit gives us Spirit Bolt. Less powerful, but more frequency. Probably because cooldowns are a thing now. We also have Walking Bomb, because they've played WoW Vanilla. Actually, that's really funny, because, fun fact, one of the biggest issues they had during the Tor era was how much EA wanted Tor to be the WoW killer. Now, if you don't know off the top of your head how monumentally stupid that is, let me just say it's monumentally stupid and move on. Anyway, so Walking Bomb curses them. If the enemy dies while active, it explodes. It also does damage, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Death Siphon. Mana regen per corpse. Sustained. And it's also... sustained works the same way, I'm pretty sure, so that's cool. In fact, because of the fact that sustained works the same way, it's going to get its own... positive, the exact same positive Dragon Age Origin got for the sustained concept. This is when you jump in and say, hey, it's not the exact same. Oh, I do. Grahunchiously. Oh my god, I can't talk. Looks like I put it under core combat. That's what I thought. Sorry, just double checking my own notes. Okay. What else do we have here? Dispel. Removes hostile effects from party. Disables magical abilities from enemies in an area. Nice. And, of course, Spirit Mastery. Increased damage, increased crit, increased piranha regen. Oh. You know, that's a good point, Sean. That's a good point. Here's the heals. They're pretty overt. Haste is still haste. Entropy. Hex. Horror. Misdirection Hex. Entropic Cloud. Sleep. What's Entropic Cloud do? This mage afflicts a foe with lesser forms of entropic spells. The chaotic energy swirls. It reduces their attack, reduces their defense. Has a chance to sleep and stun versus normal enemies. We'll talk about that, too. We start having enemy types in Dragon Age 2. I don't know if that was technically true in Origins, but it's definitely true in 2. And, of course, that's it. Alright, so, cool. But for now, just be a healer. Thanks. Alright, Carter. No, your name is Carver. You're definitely also someone I care about so very much. Let's see. I want you to have... Nope. Back. Scythe is probably my personal favorite, so we'll work towards that. Cool. So, you've seen the abilities tree. That's neat. You've seen the attributes tree. That's neat. The tactics menu is, by memory, not as good as it was in Origins. This is important, because we need to determine exactly how much worse, the same, or better it is than it was in Origins. This is how we do this sort of thing. So, the tactics menu is better than in Origins. Please elucidate on how what I'm staring at right now is better. I have less options, obviously. I don't have the ability to make my own presets, near as I can tell. No, never mind, I do. I can make one preset. And there's... Okay. That's kind of strange. We can change our behavior. Interesting. Well, we'll debate this as we go. What are you? You're a DPS and you're a tank. Okay, cool, whatever. Oh. We'll have to debate it, Lord Harrimont, because by memory, it's not as good. But we'll debate it, and we'll do some research on it. We'll do some research. Game. Hmm. Interesting. I have never heard that criticism before, Sarura. Who the hell have you been listening to? Hmm. We'll have to poke at this. We'll have to poke at this, I think. Oh, save. Oh yeah, we should probably also look. So there's our friendship and rivalry. We're obviously very friendly with Bethany. Very rivalry with Carver. And we're going to have all the sex with Aveline. So that'll be cool. Let's see. The map is serviceable. Quest log is not great. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. We'll have to see that when we get to town. I was gonna say, there's apparently nothing there. There it is.
There's more of them. Hard won and deserved.
I was wondering why my attacks were wrong. It's because I was hitting the wrong button. I forgot they added a target nearest button. Yeah, I was trying to play it like Origins, which obviously doesn't work.
All right. What?
I knew that, but, you know, muscle memory. I've been playing Origins for 9 days. Give me a break.
You go through me before.
So yeah, the game's a little bit punchier in terms of its combat. Allow me to go against the grain here and say that I like that. Don't mistake me, I actually enjoy the viscerality of Dragon Age Origins. As I said before, Sword and Board looks and feels awesome. But I like this as well, just in a different way. I can do that. I can like more than one thing at a time. I know it's a brand new thing they just came up with. And again, another reason why I tend to like the casual difficulty here that we're playing on now, because it lends itself towards the speed. Come on. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, it still has the pause, by the way. I should point this out. It still has the pause that Dragon Age Origins has, and you can still give orders during the pause. Although, having said that, I mean, I'm not the one who decides that, Caspian, as weird as that may sound. The game will decide that. Yeah, there's no overhead. This is as far zoomed out as we're getting right here. I do think they should have added tactical view, because preference. I don't like using tactical view, as I showed during Origins, but I still think it should be an option.
Quickly, before they regroup, we must press towards the wilds.
Alright, I should go. So having said all of that, there is one thing this game does that I think is... I don't want to use the word objectively, because I don't like using that word. But objectively worse. The game has animation locking. I can't really demonstrate it now because I can only do it in combat, but trust me when I say, if I'm in the middle of doing an attack swing, I can't do anything else. If you remember, I pointed that out in Origins. You can interrupt your attacks in order to do actions. You cannot do that here. You're locked in. And so that can lead to moments, and I know from personal experience, there are moments when I was doing my hard playthrough of this, my original hard playthrough of this, where I was having issues because I was trying to do something and I couldn't, and it only takes about a second to finish the animation, but a second can count, you know? That's also true, Colgrim. It's kind of a back and forth. So, I guess we'll put that under core combat. Animation locking. But also, I should just have the Dragon Age Origins review up here so I can just reference it several times. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The anime, it's such a weird choice. The effect goes off before the animation does, but you're still locked into the animation. It's very strange. No, it's fine. The Darkspawn, they're tired. It's been a long day. They've been eating people, you know. They're just, they need to settle, you know. Oh, yeah, the animations are also much faster, as we've already demonstrated. Oh, yeah, we should jot down viscerality now, because that's obviously going to be a big thing in this one. The funny thing is, I don't think it'll get a triple viscerality. It might not even get a double. We'll see. Did we just level again? Oh my god. Stop leveling. Oh, yeah, I should give the saves positives. There we go. Alright. Alright, then there's the gear thing. We'll figure that out later. We'll talk about itemization later, because that's a whole thing. Because, yeah. Anyways, so we need magic, cunning, and will. Oh no, excuse me, magic, constitution, will. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab pyro for no reason. And Bethany, just whatever. And here, have a better heal. You definitely matter. I actually care about you. So we're obviously going to do strength. I believe it's will con is what I'm doing. Strength will con. That sounds right. Oh, I gotta remember this. Okay, so we got Sword and Board, Vanguard, Battlemaster, Defender, Warmonger, Guardian. Which is, of course, the... Oh, yeah. So you remember how you unlocked passive stab boosts? In here, you unlock tree stuff, kind of. It's usually something minor like this, but, you know. It's some cool stuff. We'll talk more about this when we really dig into the friendship and rivalry system in general. Well, hopefully not, Sarura. I suppose we'll find out. We are playing on DirectX 11, so that should be fun. I'm not sure we cannot play on DirectX 11, so that'll be even funner. Yeah, I'm sort of reminding myself, Lord Harrimont, so you gotta give me a moment here. So let's do sword and board for now. Just gotta live with that. Suppose we could see something really quick here. We could do a direct X9. What do you know? Let's poke at it. Let's see if we run into this issue, shall we?
Maker, give me strength.
Bethany, no. She got in melee of an ogre.
Bethany!
Her gigantic rack didn't save her. For the record, I've done this fight, and only this fight on Nightmare. It's pretty mean. Takes a little bit longer than that, right there.
Bethany, wake up. The battle's over. We're fine.
I'm sorry, mistress. Your daughter is gone.
No. These things will not take Bethany.
Maybe we should grieve when we're safe.
Don't speak to me of grief. This is your fault.
What did I do?
How could you let her charge off like that? Oh, my poor little girl. My sweetheart.
If we stand here weeping, the Darkspawn will take the rest of us too.
Allow me to commend your daughter's soul to the Maker, mistress.
Who doesn't
Ashes
exist,
we
of
were,
course.
And ashes we become. Maker, give this young woman a place at your side. Let us take comfort in the peace she has found in eternity.
I will never forget you, Bethany.
At least Father will have company now.
Flames. We're too late.
Get ready!
Retreat! They're too powerful! Retreat!
I mean, something Dragon Age 2 kind of fails at. Someone just roaming through. Don't mind her. I'm just gonna say this, she looks much better here.
Well, well. What have we here?
The hair is what sells it.
It used to be we never got visitors to the wilds, but now it seems they arrive in hordes.
I don't know what we would have done if you hadn't arrived.
I do. You would have perished. You still may. If you wish to flee the Darkspawn, you should know you are heading in the wrong direction.
So you're just going to leave us here?
And why not? I spotted a most curious sight. A mighty ogre vanquished. Who could perform such a feat? But now my curiosity is sated, and you are safe for the moment. Is that not enough?
That makes sense to me, Grunhunchulus. Grunhunchiously. Grunhunchiously? Help me out here.
We won't be able to get through the Darkspawn on our own.
They are everywhere, or soon will be. Where is it you plan to run to, hmm?
We're going to Kirkwall, in the Free Marches.
Who's that weirdo?
Kirkwall. My, but that is quite the voyage you plan. So far, simply to flee the Darkspawn.
Our home is gone, and we have nowhere else to go.
I see. Hurtled into the chaos, you fight, and the world will shake before you. Is it fate or chance? I can never decide. It appears fortune smiles on us both today. I may be able to help you yet.
Anything you could do for us would be appreciated.
Should we even trust her? We don't even know what she is.
I know what she is. The Witch of the Wilds.
Some call me that. Also Flemeth, Asha Belinar, an old hag who talks too much. Does it matter? I offer you this. I will get your group past the Horde in exchange for a simple delivery to a place not far out of your way. Would you do this for a Witch of the Wilds?
Should we trust her?
Wesley is injured. We'll never escape the Darkspawn.
If you need to, leave me behind.
No. I said I would drag you out if I had to, and I meant it.
What is a Witch of the Wilds exactly?
A chastened legend. Witches that steal children.
Bah, as if I had nothing better to do.
Then you're an apostate.
Yes, we have so much in common.
You would go through all that trouble to have something delivered?
I have an appointment to keep. It is far more convenient this way. Happily, you're not without your own needs.
How much trouble will this delivery be exactly?
About as much trouble as my saving your lives not 5 minutes ago.
Good point.
If you knew my daughter, you'd know how seldom I hear that.
We don't have much choice.
We never do. There is a clan of Dalish elves near the city of Kirkwall. Deliver this amulet to their keeper, Marathari. Do as she asks with it, and any debt between us is paid in full. Before I take you anywhere, however, there is another matter.
No, leave him alone.
What has been done to your man is within his blood already.
You lie!
She's right, Aveline. I can feel the corruption inside me.
What are you talking about?
From the Darkspawn. All that blood. I knew when it happened.
Then how much time before you?
Not long now, if I am any judge.
There must be something we can do.
The only cure I know of is to become a Grey Warden.
And they all died at Ostagar.
Not all, but the last are now beyond your reach.
Aveline, listen to me.
You can't ask me this. I won't.
Please. The corruption is a slow death. I can't.
He's your husband, Emily. I can't decide his fate.
Be strong, my love.
Could have gone for something a little less painful.
Without an end, there can be no peace. It gets no easier. Your struggles have only just begun.
Flemeth,
I thought that might interest you.
you expect me to believe a myth swooped out of the wild to save the champion?
Oh, come now, Seeker. Do I need to recite the tale of the Warden as well?
No. Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised to hear of her involvement.
I liked my version better, too.
What else aren't you telling me, then? Did she send someone with the champion?
In a manner of speaking.
So it's true. Continue. But if you tell me they all flew to Kirkwall on a dragon...
Nothing so fanciful, I assure you. The witch kept her word, and got them to Guaran, where they took ship. They sailed north across the waking sea, lashed by terrible storms. 2 weeks they spent in that dark hold, packed in with the fearful and the desperate. And then they saw it. Kirkwall, the city of chains. Long ago it was part of the Imperium, slaves coming from far and wide to work the quarries. Now, it's a free city, but I use the word loosely.
Great place.
Step through those black cliffs and you'll see what the slaves of old saw. The gallows, welcoming you. That's where their ship landed, with all the rest.
Yeah, City of Chains.
Into the city.
What? That can't be.
It's true. Look at them all.
Are we really surprised? Everyone's fleeing the Blight. Just as we are.
And they would throw us all back to the wolves. Unbelievable.
I'm only surprised they let us dock. We need to find Gamlen. Our family has always been highly regarded in Kirkwall. He can do something, I'm sure of it.
Let's hope he received your letter.
The guards seem to be reporting to that man. Perhaps we should speak to him.
Sorry, I'm looking for a mod. Looks like we might just be able to edit the INI file, which would make this a lot easier. I'm trying to remove the depth of field. It is already bothering my eyes. I don't even remember there being a depth of field in this game. Might be related to the DirectX 11 thing? So like I said, I have no memory of that being an issue. And here we are. And here we are. There's a reference nobody will get. Either way, if I have to go edit an I field to fix this, then that's still a negative. What's wrong with the blur? It gives me a headache. I feel like I just said that. Which also makes me a moron, as we've already discussed. Here we go. Hmm. How would I fix Kirkwall? Raise it to the ground. That's not a joke. This place is cursed to hell. In a setting where those kind of things are real things. So this isn't like real life where there's like, oh, it's cursed. But no, it's fine. It's just, you know, it's got some history. No, this place is cursed. Like, actually cursed. Yeah, it's capital C cursed and lower C cursed. I'll put that towards Company of Heroes, look. Thank you very much for being part of the show. Yeah, demons exist, the fate exists, magic exists, curses exist. Come on. Yeah, exactly, Wonderdoll. Let's evacuate the dozen or so decent folk in the entire city. And then we spool up the ion cannon and... Listen, homes are expensive, you know? Alright, I need to ask a favor of people. First, I need to go swap the laundry. And the sooner I do that, the more likely it is I'll actually have clean clothes tonight. So I'm going to go do that. But second of all, can I ask y'all a favor? Because the INI file is already set where it should be. So if anybody can help me get rid of the goddamn depth of field, probably a mod, I would really appreciate it. But I can't Google it because I got to do laundry. I'll be right back. That's strange, Loke. But sure, we'll try that. Sure. Let's crank it. See what happens. Yeah, for Dragon Age Origins, Colgrim.
We need to find your uncle. With any luck, he's received my letter.
We won't know until a cutscene plays, Loke. Speaking of which,
Get back to the crowd,
nope,
you
didn't fix it.
lot. Trying to bully your way through won't get you into Kirkwall any faster.
But you do intend to let us in.
We have enough poor of our own in the free marches. We don't need you refugees piling up here like a middens heap.
I heard someone call this fortress the Gallows. Is it a prison?
Used to be.
Then we destroyed it with an ion blast. The end. Yeah, no, it'll be great. I just have to have a headache the entire game. That just sounds wonderful. No, I alt F4. Listen, Grouchy. All I'm saying is that just, win. Nice beach. Only Giga Pudding. Only. And yeah, well, we'll have to talk about the player sexual thing at some point too. Let's save that for now. That hasn't come up yet. I already have. All 3 no spider mods are already installed. Okay, we have forced FXAA, which took longer than it should have, but here we are. See if that works. I'm fine with spiders, as long as I don't have to see them, hear them, look at them, interact with them, or do anything other than burn them to death. I do like burning spiders. That's just fun. Just, give me a flamethrower. The good news is we're right out of cutscene, so we should be able to tell immediately. Let's walk up here and see what happens.
Get back to the
Nope.
crowd.
But you do...
We have enough poor of our own in the free marches. We don't need you refugees piling up here like a middens heap.
There must be someone in charge I can speak with.
Yes, always the same story. You want in, talk to Captain Ewald. I'm just here to keep you refuse from climbing the walls.
Thanks. I mean, yeah, this is a big negative. It's headache-inducing already, and we're 20 minutes into this. Imagine playing a whole game like that. And the fact that turning off depth of field doesn't turn it off, that's terrible. It's not as bad as the Octo Blur, but that's bad. I should mention, by the way, depth of field is a toggle right there. In fact, blur is an option right there. They're both off. Either way, like, as of this moment, this is pretty bad. I did, Eternus. Unfortunately, that's just an I edit, which, if you were paying attention, already done. Nah, that's what I just did, Sonoshi. Okay, so people were saying turn it down to high in terms of overall graphics while cranking the anti-aliasing. Let's see if that does anything.
We need to find your... Received my letter.
I'd rather not use a better textures mod if I can avoid it, but I doubt. I guess I find it hard to believe that better textures mod would have anything to do with the depth of field, you know.
Almost everyone who hadn't fled.
My older sister. If she wasn't with us, I don't think we'd be...
Let us through, you
Nope, still doing it.
Then get back on you and half of Pharrell.
See, look at that.
There's nothing I can do. The city is full.
If you keep packing people into this fortress, there's going to be trouble.
You can bet your ass there will be.
If we keep...
It's okay. It's okay. What, Lord Harrimont? Sorry, I can't hear you under me trying to fix an issue, which is why we're not actually playing the game right now. Come on, man. I'm gonna try a couple other things here really quick. I don't think this is going to change anything, but it is worth trying. Have to change it first. Mosquitoes, Tarhuntus, no question. I'm not fond of spiders, but mosquitoes need to die. Just as a species. Seven.
Get back to the crowd.
Nope. Okay. Right. Dino DNA. Oh, sorry. Actually, I turned it on to try and solve the issue, Walker. It was off by default. Or rather, it started off. You know, this is a legitimate problem. And usually I can fix this kind of thing. I mean, Outer Worlds, big depth of blur problem. No problem. Just go in, do a few I&I edits, we're good. But I apparently cannot fix this. Yeah, but it was already off in the control panel, Walker. I feel like you're not listening to me. I had to turn it on in the control panel. What's weird is Valvorix had the same issue and fixed it in a method that I've already used. And I've also seen other people who've mentioned they also fixed it using the exact same issue. What I don't know is why it isn't fixing it. Oh, you know what? Actually, I bet I do know why it is. Hang on. I think I know. Let's try something. Let's try something. Let's try this. €30. 30 I can tolerate. But depth of field is automatic. I shouldn't say automatic. It lends itself more towards headache-inducing than anything else. What are we on right now? On 9. Shooters too, Sarura.
Get back to the crowd, you lot. Trying to bully your way. We haven't. You. Talk to Captain Ewald. Don't talk to me. We'll starve!
Tell me, how did your family escape Lothering?
I mean, there is a backup option. All I have to do is not look at the game when the conversations happen.
I don't think
That's not a great solution,
you and half of
but that is, it looks like the solution we currently have.
Find some ships to take. You want eyes looking the other way? Void take you!
Okay, I'm gonna keep troubleshooting for a bit because I'm weird and I like troubleshooting. Hey look, the Mass Effect 3 demo's here. Can't wait to play that game. Whenever it comes out. I don't understand the question, Latario. People who financially support the show get to put that support towards increasing interest in a run. That's it. That's how that works. You can also win the guessing game. So that's kind of a for fun thing. And you can also put in channel points. Neither of those financially support the show, but that's there for just people to be able to have a say, even if they are not able to support the show.
Our ship is already left.
Get back to the crowd, you lot. Trying to bully your way through won't get you into Kirkwall any We have enough.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to live with this. I know you guys don't notice or care, so that's good. But yeah. Not only is that headache-inducing for a long game, but I can't fix it even with multiple things. I already did that, Trickster. In fact, it was already set to 0. Well, then I don't understand your question. What do you mean by how do you support a future run? Please elaborate. Guess we could try the mod. But yeah, that's easily triple negative. The fact that I cannot force that to fix itself is bonkers. It's, for those of you who don't understand why that's so bonkers, that's just a toggle. The game has to go out of its way to add a shader filter on top of it, right? It doesn't just happen innately. It's something that it does live on the fly. It's actually a little bit of additional strain on your GPU while it's happening. That sucks, right? I mean, sure, whatever. If you want it, cool, but the point is, that's a toggle. Even if they don't put an option in the game, which they should, that should be the kind of thing that I could just go in and edit and turn off. The fact that I can't is strange. I'm going to reset my FXAA to default. Oh, that's the exact same thing. I just said this, Latornio. So, okay. What that means is you are putting interest towards a future run. You'll get to pick one thing, not three, just one. Because it's a non-financial donation. You know what I mean. But that's what it means. You just say, hey, you hit it, and it'll be like, what do you want to put it towards? And then you type it in there. And I say, cool. And then it's done. And then there's like fireworks. Get rid of that. Let's just default out here. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Crank that back to off. Yeah, like Jaludo just said. Thank you for being part of the show, Jaludo. I'll put that towards the Resident Evil block. And thank you, Lanowin, for being part of the show. I will put that towards Lunar SSSC. I am bonkered by the fact that I can't fix that. That is wild. I will never play this game again. You are absolutely right. This game has just reached never play it again status in the last 30 minutes. I mean, this would be a negative anyways, duh. But, like, the fact that I can't fix it? That's... I don't even have words for how insane that is. Yeah, at least it's the shortest one, right? Yeah, negative for ice train. Whatever, moving on.
Get back to the crowd, you lot. Trying to bully your way through won't get you into Kirkwall any faster.
But you do intend to let us in.
We have enough poor of our own in the free marches. We don't need you refugees piling up here like a middens heap.
You know, my favorite part is I was looking forward to this.
I'll find my own way out of here.
You want in, talk to Captain Ewald. I'm just here to keep you refuse from climbing the walls.
The gates are shut. Not a good sign for a lot of people. Tell me, how did your family escape Lothering? Almost everyone who hadn't fled.
My older sister. If she wasn't with us, I don't think we'd be here.
But you seem quite skilled as well.
I'm not my sister.
You mean me, right? I want to be clear about that.
Just take your things and get back on the ship.
One thing that they emphasize, and the game not only has an issue with presenting this properly, but actually even the creators of this game have admitted that they didn't present this properly. Go figure. But Hawk is presented as a total badass, but also presented as someone who isn't a total badass. Someone who's just kind of an everyday normal person. Like, because part of Dragon Age 2's point is to bring the character down, right? To zoom in more, as opposed to saving the country like we did in Ferelden. Cool, that makes sense. Yeah, But the thing is, by multiple accounts, Hawk is better in one-on-one combat, regardless of which Hawk they is, than the Warden is. So, one thing that I hear as a common complaint from several of the creators is that the Arashock duel should have been the finale of the entire story as a way to kind of penultimize her rep. The reason why everyone calls her the champion. And for her to be like, yeah, ha, ha, as opposed to, you know, the actual Act 3, which is just kind of, oh yeah, and then we do go to this. But I'm getting off topic. Hey, look, it's a random peasant girl. Don't worry, she won't have a gigantic rack. I'm sorry. I'll stop pointing it out, I swear. Well, until Isabella shows up. Then I'll point it out 2 more times.
Let us through, you flaming blighter. We're not staying in this pit.
Then get back on your ship and leave. Kirkwall has no more room for refugees.
The ship's already gone. We've paid good coin to get here.
You and half of Ferelden. There's nothing I can do. The city is full.
You wouldn't be out here if nobody could enter.
That's right. We've seen you let lots of people through.
Citizens and merchants that make it worth our while. I'll assume that you don't have any more coin than these gentlemen. We've been letting you Fereldans in for months. You're too late. There's no more room.
But we've got family here.
I've heard claims like that 1,000 times already, trust me. We'll find some ships to take you all back to Ferelden, eventually. Until then, you stay here.
There must be someone else in charge we can talk to.
The city's been closed by order of the Viscount and Knight Commander Meredith, whose fortress you're standing in. But as far as you're concerned, I'm in charge.
I don't know, Meredith, she sounds like she's a reasonable sort.
Our uncle is Gamlin Amel. He knows we're coming. Surely someone could find him.
Gamlin? I know that name.
He's a nobleman here in the city. Our family has an estate.
A nobleman? The only Gamlin I know is a weasel who couldn't rub 2 coppers together. He comes back, I'll bring you to him. But I don't have time to...
What? You gonna let them through?
I didn't say anything about...
We've been here for 4 days. They just got here.
That's it. We're carving our way out of here. Men?
Don't mind me. There we go.
Unbelievable.
Captain, are you all right?
I am, no thanks to you. Where is everyone? Go find them. I want this kept under control. You have my thanks. Look, I can't get you into the city. It's not my decision. But I'll find your uncle and bring him here.
Yeah, you know the fact that I'm an apostate mage in the middle of the Templar fortress.
It's been 3 days. This waiting has to end.
I'm sure it won't be much longer. Gamlin must still be looking for us.
And if he's not?
Wait. I think someone's coming.
By the way, there's our first bad time skip.
Leandra. Damn, girl. The years haven't been kind to you.
Gamlin.
Let me say up front, I wasn't expecting this. The Blight, your husband, dead. I'd figured you'd pretty much be Ferelden for life.
Oh, Gamlin. We came too late. My darling Bethany didn't make it, and trust to guide her.
Oh, make her save me. Leandra, don't drop this on me here. I don't even know if I can help you get in.
I'm more concerned about Mother. Can you get her in at least?
No. We stay together.
I was hoping to grease some palms, but the Knight Commander's been cracking down. We're gonna need more grease.
But what about the estate? Surely Father left something when he died?
Right, about the estate. It's, gone. To settle a debt. I've been meaning to write you.
Then there's no hope.
Not quite. I know some people who might help. If you're not too delicate about the company you keep.
Mother said our family was wealthy. You really can't help us.
I am blighted helping. I've got 2 offers of work from people who've got the coin to open those gates.
I still can't believe you sold the estate. Gamlen, how could you?
Well, I didn't expect your blasted family to show up on my doorstep. I've got a nice place in Lowtown. You'll see, it'll all work out.
Do we need to stay in Kirkwall? Let's go to another city.
This was my home. I can't believe they won't let me come back.
Every city on the coast's been hip-deep in Ferelden since the Blight. You could try your luck further inland, I suppose, but it won't be easy.
We're not putting Mother through that. We came here. We're staying here.
At least until the end of Act 1, at which point we should leave immediately. Any questions? What do you mean we're not leaving? Why aren't we leaving? We could leave. Let's go! Ugh, these people. I mean, I'd almost take Tevinter over this nonsense. Almost. Almost. Oh, whoops. These are... Yeah, pay attention, Laura. You know what? Antiva... Yeah, okay, I could go with that. I'll take Orlais over this nonsense.
Let's hear it, Uncle. What do you have in mind?
I talked to my contacts, and I found some people who might be willing to pay your way into the city. The catch is, you and your brother will have to work off the debt. For a year.
A year?
It's the best I could do. Trust me when I say a bunch of refugees won't get a better option anywhere else.
So, you're selling us into indentured servitude? That's your idea?
Think of it as having a job waiting for you in your new home.
I guess it's only a year, right?
I managed to convince my contacts to come to the gallows to meet you personally. Mirren heads up the mercenary company, the Red Iron. They're looking for recruits. Fenril, I guess you might call her a smuggler. Either one of them can help you. All you need to do is find them in the courtyard and convince them you're worth the trouble.
What do you think about this, Carver?
What can I say? Better here than nowhere.
What kind of man is this Mirren?
He's a hired sword. What do you expect him to be like? I wouldn't bring him home for dinner or anything, but he's got a decent reputation. I wouldn't have asked him if I thought he'd cross you.
How dangerous is this smuggler's work?
Well, it won't be pretty working for her. She's a pretty small fish compared to some of the other thieves' guilds around here. But she's tough, she's fair, and she never deals in slaves or flesh.
That's pretty good, by the standards of this city.
Let's find them and see what they have to say.
Oh, Gamlen, I don't know about this.
It's a lot of coin, Leandra. Don't go expecting our name to carry the kind of weight it used to.
And what of me? I will not allow others to incur debts on my behalf.
Can't see that it makes a difference. You look like a lady who can pull her own weight.
Then you'll come with us.
I have no real option. Thank you.
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure Alistair could carry all of us at the same time. So, you know. Wait, what did I say, Colgan? I said Alistair. Look.
Are you a Fenrir?
You must be Gamlen's niece. Interesting. I don't know what he told you about us, but he certainly told us a great deal about you.
How much exactly?
Enough to pique our interest, provided you can justify your uncle's confidence.
I'd like to know more about what we'd be doing for you.
I can be honest. We don't compete with the Thieves Guild, but we keep our fingers in a lot of pots. That said, we're not killers or slavers. Anything short of that, however, is fair game.
Do what you want, but this sounds fishy to me.
Begging and taking your pick never went hand in hand.
I hear getting us into the city isn't cheap.
If you're as good as your uncle claims, we're hoping you'll be worth it. After all, it's not every day we're offered an apostate's services.
I didn't realize Gamlen had told you that much.
The Templars in Kirkwall like to think they have all mages properly leashed, but when has that ever been true? We can keep them from taking notice while you're with us. Wouldn't be the first time.
How did you get to be one of my uncle's contacts?
Is that what he calls me? He owes us after that last big idea. If you turn out, though, we'll consider things even.
Let's do it.
Tell me what you need done.
There's a merchant named Cavril, friend of the Templars, so they let him set up his little shop here in the Gallows. We supplied him in return for a piece of the take, but now he won't pay up. We can't go near him without him screaming for the guard, but you can. Get our money from him and you're in.
Thank you for being part of the show, Pancakes. And for somehow magically always guessing the golden number. I will put that towards Lords of Magic. Hey, Ginger Ninja. Would I recommend Dragon Age Origins? Yes. Without hesitation. It's a very problematic game, and it has a lot of problematic problems. But it's still a game that scored 200 plus in the golden number. And that says all it really needs to.
I've already told you, I can't give you any more for them.
But that was everything we have. It's all we brought with us.
And I feel for you, Sarah, but it's the best I can do.
If they just let us into the city, I could get 3 times that price.
Myron?
Your business is done.
But...
Now then, what can I do for you, Sarah?
I believe you owe your business partners something.
Oh, I see.
Should I go tell the guards?
Not just yet. I want to hear this. So, Ethenril sent you to collect, did she? Too cowardly to do it herself.
Care to step in here?
Only because this toad deserves it. You have a choice. Pay, or I beat it out of you, and your men.
Hey!
Stay back. Just... take what's in the chest. Take it all.
Thank you.
Now I'm getting out of here. Let those guards find someone else to buy Dogland junk.
That should do...
Aveline continues to be Aveline. And yeah, that's Sir Jory. Sorry.
Here you go. As requested.
Will you look at that? Tell your uncle we'll make the arrangements. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, we got some tactic slots. Woo! Run animation is so bad.
Any luck?
Yes. They've agreed to help us.
I'll speak to Athenril and see when the bribes can be made. Wait here.
I guess we did it. We're here to stay, at least for a while.
I mean, isn't that what Dragon Age 2 is supposed to be, Lord Harrowmont? Lower tier, you know, less end of the world kind of stuff.
We'll see what happens when this debt is repaid.
If only Bethany were here with us.
And Wesley.
Nah, they're dead.
Let's just see what happens. We have a long year ahead of us.
Yep, it's gonna be a long year. Let's count here.
Thus began the champion's first year in Kirkwall. Word arrived from across the sea that the hero of Ferelden had defeated the Blight. But Lothering was destroyed. Kirkwall was the champion's home now. So she remained, paying off her debt. Made a name for herself in the underworld. It was a busy year in the city. That's when the Kunari landed. A great storm had caught their ship and left hundreds of warriors stranded in the city, waiting to return home. That's also when the trouble began with the mages. The Templars had become very powerful under Knight Commander Meredith. But, most importantly, that's when I first met the champion.
There you go. That was a 59-second year. You can tell because it looks exactly the same, and so does everybody else. There's Meredith, by the way.
No. Andraste's tits, human. You know how many people want to hire onto this expedition?
Look, we know you're going into the deep roads. You'll need to hire the best, and we're...
No! You're too late. Already done.
The money from this trip could fix everything. You need us. We fought Darkspawn.
Look, Precious. I don't care if you tore the horns off an ogre with your bare hands.
You make him understand. We're running from your bloody Templars.
Carver.
My brother has a point. It's on his head, but it's still valid.
Oh, thanks for that.
So, what about it, Bertrand? We're just what you need.
You're looking for a quick way out of the slums, right? You and every other Ferelden in this dump. Find another meal ticket.
Well, back to waiting for someone to turn us in.
You can relax. After all, the Templars dogging us are mine.
Did I sound that bad? Maker, I'm turning into Gamlen. Gamlen? He's got a head for this garbage. Maybe he can talk to Bertrand. He knows some people. After last week, we need all the coin and influence we can get.
You catch more flies with honey. But Gamlen's bullshit could work too.
Well, he did get us into the city, right? What else can we do? We're losing ground.
Did you see that?
Fancy waking up in the gallows.
Like, occasionally the depth of field just goes away. Have you noticed?
Hey!
Nice shot.
I knew a guy once who could take every coin out of your pockets just by smiling at you. But you don't have the style to work Hightown, let alone the Merchants Guild. You might want to find yourself a new line of work. Off you go. How do you do? Varric Tethras, at your service. I apologize for Bertrand. He wouldn't know an opportunity if it hit him square in the jaw.
But you would.
I would. What my brother doesn't realize is that we need someone like you. He would never admit it either. He's too proud. I, however, am quite practical.
You're part of Bertrand's venture.
That's right. The deep roads wouldn't normally be my thing, but I can't allow the head of our family to go down there alone. So as you might imagine, I have more than a passing interest in this expedition's success.
There's an edit I've seen of this. I don't know who put it together. That put like 80s action film movie music over the scene we just watched. It fits surprisingly well.
What makes you so certain we can help? You know nothing about us.
Oh, on the contrary. You've made quite the name for yourself over the last year. The Coterie has been squeezing smugglers out left and right, and the only group to survive owes it all to you two. The name Hawk is on many lips these days. Not bad for a Ferelden fresh off the boat.
You must have heard of my brother as well, then.
A little, yes, but it is you they speak most of, Messer.
That figures.
Your brother is certainly welcome to join us by all means, but I'll leave that in your hands.
Oh, I'm going. Without this expedition, we won't last out the year.
So, I'm just gonna... I know I've said this like 3 times. We've already had several, Colgrim. Varric was originally written to be a sleazy, used car salesman type. And if you're really paying attention, you can kind of see it, right? Especially early on, when the character clearly wasn't quite as codified. Or as well presented. But as the game goes on, it becomes more and more clear that they just... The writers and the actor and the directors just kind of fell in love with him. And we're like, okay, yeah, no, Varric's just awesome. And he became Varric. Which is why he's alive. Yeah, exactly. He just kind of slid neatly into being a Han Solo type. And here's the thing. The Han Solo archetype is an archetype. It is. But it's also a lot harder to pull off than people seem to think. Most people cannot manage the Han Solo. So, credit to them.
You're going awfully far out of your way just to hire another guard.
We don't need another hireling. We need a partner. The truth is, Bartrand's been tearing his beard out trying to fund this on his own, but he can't do it. Invest in the expedition. 50 sovereigns and he can't refuse. Not with me there to vouch for you.
Naturally, 50 sovereigns is treated as a huge amount of money. Credit to the game. 50 sovereigns should be a giant amount of money.
It sounds interesting. But if I had any gold, I wouldn't need this job.
You need to think big. There's only a brief window after a blight when the deep roads won't be crawling with darkspawn. The treasure you find down there could set you and your family up for life.
Come on. The dwarf makes some sense. No offense. Look, you started this, and it's a good idea. Certainly better than ending up in the gallows.
We work together, you and I, and before you know it, you'll have all the capital you need. What do you say?
Yeah, right.
You have a deal.
Perfect. Kirkwall's crawling with work. You set aside some coin from every job and you'll have the money in no time.
Sure. Easy. But... maybe Aveline's got some bounties out. She joined the city guard, right?
We should talk privately when you get the chance. In the Hanged Man, maybe. I'll be there when I'm not with you. Now, let's go see what trouble we can stir up. Ah, Hightown, where the rich go to piss their money away. This really is the best place in Kirkwall.
That's sad. But welcome to the party. Hey, Czar. Oh, by the way, can I just say it was actually really vindicating that I am not the only person who's really bothered by the time skips in this game. Because so are the writers. Here's the thing. Kirkwall was originally supposed to exist in multiple states. In gaming terms, there were supposed to be different cells, like the cell we're in right now, the Hightown. There was supposed to be a first phase, second phase, third phase Hightown, which means each time, you know, the world state would change physically, visually, visual storytelling to indicate the fact that time had passed. That's cool. That's awesome. That was axed pretty early on for obvious reasons. That's a lot of additional work for the graphics department to work on. Okay, cool. But then they didn't axe the time skips. And the writers have gone on record as saying, yeah, we probably should have axed the time skips as soon as we axed the indications of the time skips. So, vindicating. That's all. That's all. God, look at the document right now. 8 pluses to story, 7 negatives to story. 10 pluses to gameplay, 6 negatives to gameplay. Yeah. That tracks so far. Alright, what do we got? I am doing... What am I doing? Magic, obviously, always raising magic. Let's do Constitution and Will for that. I mean, I said from the very beginning, you disagree with the writers. I mean, that's allowed. We can do that. Force mages, aka, you know, Jedi. Let's just call them what they are. Spirit healers, those are fun. We're not going to do that. Blood mages, hell yeah! Also known as 99% of the mages in Kirkwall. That's true. You can disagree with the writers all you want. But you can't disagree with the investors. Oh. What is this, Fable 3? So what happened during the time skip? Nothing. What? Yeah, nothing. Okay. No, sorry, I wasn't actually referencing Dragon Age 2. For those, so this is a minor spoiler. But in Fable 3, there is a time skip during which nothing happens. Even though, logically speaking, and I'm not going to spoil, but logically speaking, stuff should have been happening there. Like, things should have been accomplished. But no, instead it's just, and there, time skip. And it's like, as if everything just froze in place for however long it is until the time skip ended. And it's like, what? Why did human... Ah! Okay. Moving on. Stone Fist. Why would I do Stone Fist? Where's Stone Fist? I don't know. I guess we could have at least one single target ability. I was hoping to get Force Mage, but I don't remember what unlocks this. Oh, never mind. Level 7 is what unlocks that. Chain Lightning is nice, but we need a single target, Lord Harriman. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, just try living someplace for 10 years and never cleaning up. Go ahead. I laid it out there. Go ahead. Take advantage of it. I guess we could do Winter's Grasp. And Brittle is nice. Sorry, I'm kind of torn. I probably should, because again, I haven't played a mage. If I was a warrior, I'd be like, because I know exactly what I want to do, but I've played warrior before. haste? So they changed haste to being a buff instead of a sustained, which is actually in a move I agree with. But it also requires level 7. And 2 talent points just to reach... 3 talent points, actually, just to reach it. Yeah, exactly, Wandering Doll. Man! Still, I might get haste. Yeah, what have we done the last 2 years? Nothing. What? Let's be boring for now. Let's go and grab Winter's Grass, because we do eventually want Elemental Mastery. Think about the rest later. You don't matter. Oh, I'm your brother! Yeah, that's nice. But, nope. Now, you matter. So we want... Oh, gosh. I want Dexterity, Cunning, and Con on you. Yeah, that's right. We leveled up twice in 15 minutes, and then we didn't do anything for a year. I'll stop making fun of it at some point. That's not true. I'm going to keep making fun of it. Forever. 50 years from now, I'll be like, and then a year passed and nothing happened. Alright, okay. It's okay, Lord Harriman. I look forward to seeing what kind of a character Carver is. Because I've always gotten him killed during the prologue, so I don't really know what kind of character he is. This should be interesting.
No?
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go do side quests. Game pretty much just flat out says, yeah, go do side quests. Okay.
See you there.
You got it.
Hawk, long time no see, my friend.
Worthy. When did you get back into town?
Oh, just a month or so ago. Things didn't work out in Orzammar. You aren't still working for Athenril, are you? Your year must be up by now.
I'm looking to become an explorer of a sort.
I heard. Bartrand's hard to take, but his information is usually good.
Hard to take? That's putting it mildly.
I'll tell you what. I still have my old contacts. You need some rune crafting done, I can arrange it for you. Take care, Hawk. Don't get dead.
I do like getting dead, though.
It's eerie how much resemblance there is between you two.
She's my sister. Of course there's a resemblance.
Oh, you thought I meant Hawk. I was talking about Gamlen.
Maker, I hate you, dwarf.
Interesting. Listen, it's a really, really deep blood gash. There's actually an explanation for the blood gash, and I can't remember it right now. Something like we were supposed to be an Avar or something like that. And so it's like a ritualistic thing, but then that was completely thrown out the window, so it's not anymore. I don't actually remember the specifics. I apologize. There's a lot of holdovers from stuff that didn't actually happen, because when you've only got 11 months, you have to really, really, really focus on the things that absolutely have to happen. So little things like a blood thing being on your nose just kind of gets left by the wayside.
I should take a trip to the country.
No, that can't be true. Meredith wouldn't stand for it. It's pointless.
Yep, no, I'm right. Let's do this while I'm doing this.
Commissaire, please stop kicking the wall. Who are you to talk to me like that, you bloody peasant?
The guard who'll throw you out if you kick that wall one more time.
Yeah. Yeah, let's gather our party. So, damn, we can't recruit the best character in the game. Oh, he's right there. Never mind, we're good. We're good. Good for him.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
We, of course, walk in immediately.
Aveline!
Hello, Hawk.
Been a while, hasn't it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bertrand. He's a son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, by the way, because we're now in the Tor era of BioWare, there's a lot of cussing. I don't have any real opinion on that. It's just weird, because for all of the dark edginess or whatever of Dragon Age Origins, like the gloomy atmosphere, if you paid attention, there was very, very little cussing in Dragon Age Origins. And then in 2, it's just peppered all over the place. It's very strange.
A person in your position. Seems like they might learn some profitable things.
You know better than to ask that.
One day you'll be frustrated enough to go for it.
It's like I'm sitting on my hands. There are dangerous people in this city. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
I mean, that's the question, isn't it, Blade Taval? As I've said before, cussing doesn't inherently bother me. It's incorrect usage of cussing, which, in my opinion, the overwhelming majority of fiction does. The example I always default to is Grand Theft Auto, the better written ones, for how to properly do cussing.
Seems like Kirkwall suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Kalen.
It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. What about you, Carver? You were there. Do you feel something similar?
No.
All right, then. Bit of a tit, your brother.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lord Harrimont. I know you like Carver. But I just found myself thinking, oh, Carver's going to have a whole dialogue thing here talking about Ostagar and, you know, giving us the first insight into his character. And his dialogue was just the word, no. Well.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me. It was just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall. But you don't get used to people losing everything.
I'd been away already. I don't know if I'd still call it home.
Sometimes the best thing about a place is that it's where you're from.
Yeah, speaking of someone who doesn't have a home.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing?
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
Do you have a name or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
Yeah, Eveline is a little scarily good at her job. She's not very good at wooing people, but she's good at her job.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
I'm no guard, Eveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
Only on Tuesdays.
Eveline, you've got yourself a partner.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard.
Listen, you know me, von Falkenstein. You know I have a great respect for the Guards of Oblivion. Let's see, what am I doing with you? Boop. Boop, boop. And, right, level 7 for that. So let's go down sword and board for the moment. Make sure she's set up, what she is. Cool. Back up to me.
Fine day, Sarah.
Stop right there!
Good luck getting in.
My niece has never played Oblivion, and she is aware of that meme. In fact, she is fond of that meme. Oh yeah, the map. Gosh, is it out here for this thing? Yep, there it is. There's a lot of style going on. Ooh, right. Yeah, the maps in both games are decent, mostly from an aesthetic perspective. I didn't give any pluses to the map in Origins. We'll see if I give one here. Because one thing I like, and I kind of already emphasized it, which I think I have to do this, hang on, is this. The fact that there will be an icon over an area saying, you got a quest there, and if you mouse over it, it'll tell you which quest it is in the upper left. I still honestly think this could be better, but that doesn't prevent this from being good. It even says, right, like, for example, if I do that, it says I can't fast travel to there, I have to access it by Lowtown. The fact that that information is there, okay, that's cool. Now, as Colgrim points out, there is no thing for available quests. That would be awesome. Something that tells you, hey, there are now quests available in this area. Maybe like a highlight, or, I don't know, maybe like a different coloration of the icon itself. Something to indicate there are quests here. That would be cool. Oh yeah, and also side quests and big quests are labeled differently, as you can see right there. So, that's actually pretty cool.
There might be some stragglers before the main group. Nothing we can't handle.
Well, yeah, we're on Mushu mode. Oh yeah, let's get this out of the way. Obviously the game gets Dragon Age 2 syndrome negatives. I guess that would be encounter rate. Mushu is the more formal term for what I usually call Dynasty Warriors.
I can do this. You'll see.
Oh, this game can be pretty hard. I have played this game on hard. I've only played the intro on Nightmare. I've never actually kept going with that playthrough. And honestly, I probably never will. Still, some of the encounters can be right in the face. Just right in the face.
On your guard!
Yeah, and Cassandra's like, okay, so what happened then? Well, they found a couple of raiders going up the corridor.
How about you?
Okay. What happened then? Well, some more of the raiders showed up behind them. Okay. Oh, God, sorry. Don't even remind me. Then, after we killed the second raid of raiders, a third raid showed up. Third wave. This is just... That, what we just encountered is quite literally just a taste of what is to come. A wave of enemies, which then spawned a wave of enemies, which then spawned a wave of enemies. That's on the low end, to be very clear about this. There are some encounters. It's only a few, thank God, but there are some encounters which are just, oh my God. Why?
Looks like trouble's coming. Better luck in the next one.
Yeah, as I say, once we start to get to the rooftop, the Cirque de how would you say that? Cirque de la Kirkwall? Something like that? We'll start to see some real waves of enemies.
Be ready.
Now we
There's
fight.
our targets for the Kirkwall Guard.
Yeah, the airdrop Templars. Oh, that's why. See, only 2 waves.
For bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear. Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward.
I'm sorry. I am legitimately amused. We're a mage, so we're just back here. Aveline is coated in blood. just knackered with blood.
Someone's left a surprise here for us.
Oh. I like to think that that's her default state. She doesn't wear makeup. At least, she doesn't wear normal makeup. She wears blood. She just kind of dabs it, you know. Gotta get a base going. There we go. There we go. There we go. Get a little foundation. Nah, I gave up, Walker. We're just gonna not look at cutscenes when they play.
You ready? I'm ready.
Oh no. Oh god, it's my most horrifying enemy of all! Mabari! I'm sorry, they're not rocks this time. There was no rock option.
Nice work.
Depth of field, Czar. Oh, honestly, ditto. You'll notice I've already jotted down a music positive. You may also notice I never really gave Dragon Age Origins a music positive. I kind of walked away from that one. By the end of the game, I agreed with Harriman. We had like 5 decent songs. It's just not great. Where's my quality of life positive? There it is. Yeah, here's this Dalish clan, which, despite being known for the kind of people who roam around constantly, just kind of sits here for 6 years.
Old Shemlin, your kind are not welcome among the Dalish.
What happened to your skin? Oh my god!
What's a Shemlin?
An elven slur for human.
It means you're not one of the people, and you should leave now.
Who are you people?
We are the last of the Eldhead.
Keep that in mind, Hawk. Elves you see elsewhere, figments of your imagination.
They have given up their identity to live among Shemlin. They're elven no more.
Sorry, just...
I was given an amulet for someone named Marathari.
How do you know that name?
Wait, this is the one the Keeper spoke of.
A Shemlin? I thought she'd be an elf.
Enter the camp. Keeper Marathari has been waiting for you.
Cause trouble, and you'll meet our blades, stranger.
Uh-huh.
Marathari, I was told to bring you this amulet.
Andarana Tishan, travelers. Indeed, I am Keeper Marathari. Let me look at you. There's truth in your face. A rare thing in a human. Tell me how this burden fell to you, child.
Your guard said you spoke of me. How did you know I was coming?
I listened. To the wind, to the birds, as the hunters do, to my dreams. I watched the stars. There is great wisdom to be found all around us, if you know how to listen for it.
So you didn't know? Is what I'm hearing.
Nothing is certain.
Okay, that was such a non-answer. Why am I bringing this amulet here?
Are you the leader of these Dalish? Why did the witch tell me to bring this amulet to you?
I am the keeper of this clan. It is my task to guide my people and to ensure the old ways are not forgotten. As for Asha Belenar, I am tied to her, just as you are, by a debt that must be repaid.
Exactly what have I been carrying around? Is it magic?
It is a promise, child, made by one whose word still has weight. And therefore, it has terrible power. There are few things in this world stronger than a promise kept. Remember that.
Right. Well, that's why I'm here.
This amulet's owner rescued my family from the Blight. In return, I agreed to bring it to you.
I honor you for coming to me. But I'm afraid your part in this is not done yet. The amulet must be taken to an altar at the top of the mountain.
Oh my god. Stop moving the goalposts.
Dalish rite for the departed. Then, return the amulet to me. Do this and your debt will be repaid.
Are you going to teach me this rite for the departed?
I will send my first with you. She will see to it the ritual is done. And when it is complete, I must ask that you take her with you when you go.
I'm sorry, what?
Who is your first? First of what?
Your people would call her my apprentice, or heir. Meryl would have taken my place as keeper. But she has chosen a new path. Please, guide her safely from here.
If that's what you want.
It isn't what I want, but it is what she wants. You will find Meryl waiting for you on the trail just up the mountain. Dareth Shiral.
Paul, are you busy?
Okay.
Of course not. Not too busy for you. I thought maybe you could use some archery lessons. Private ones. I think my aim is hopeless, Rada. Well, why don't we go somewhere alone and try to fix that? Oh, that's a great idea. My gear is only... Leave it. You won't need it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we should probably bring up external continuity at some point.
Oh, I didn't hear. You must be the one the Keeper told me about. Another.
I'm so sorry. I didn't ask your name. Unless... It's not rude to ask a human their name, is it? I'm Meryl, which you probably knew already. I'm rambling, sorry.
Why is this Meryl? I'm dead serious. Different actress, different writing, different personality. Like, it's... Name her something else. There's no reason for her... She is a completely different character. This is the Trill thing over in Star Trek. There's absolutely no reason for Jadzia Dax to be a Trill. Because she's a completely different species than the Trill we saw back in TNG. Like, top to bottom. Why are you Meryl?
Why are you leaving the Dalish for Kirkwall?
I have to. Let's leave it at that for now, alright?
Okay.
Did you hear that strange noise?
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Uh-huh.
You seem awfully nervous.
I've never met a human before. Dalish mothers frighten their children with stories about you, you know. Not you, personally, of course. I'm sure they don't have any tales about you. Or not scary ones, at least. Not that you're not notable enough to have a story. I'll just shut up now.
Yeah, Meryl's actually in the Dalish elf origin, as we saw a little over a week ago.
My name is Hawk. Glad to make your acquaintance, Meryl.
Thank you. I'm afraid I'm not very experienced with your kind. The Keeper said you came from Ferelden. I spent most of my life there. We only came north a few years ago. Have you been in the Free Marches long? Do you like it here?
Oh, I miss the cold. And the dirt. Kirkwall's not brown enough for me. But hey, no Darkspawn.
Ferelden wasn't that brown. The dirt and muck gave it character. We should go. Your task is for Asha Belenar. It's not wise to make her wait.
What do we have to do with the amulet?
It's a funeral of sorts. I'll perform it when we get to the mountaintop. Getting there is the tricky part. Our hunters haven't been able to reach the summit. Dark things are about.
I take it you've been expecting me to bring this amulet for some time.
The Keeper brought us here to wait for you. I don't know much more than that. I do know that you have Asha Belenar's amulet. And we must bring it to the altar on the mountaintop. Nothing more.
Do you know the witch who sent me here?
No, not personally. My people tell stories of her, though. You're very lucky. Most people who meet Asha Belenar wind up in little pieces, hanging from the trees.
Let's get this over with.
I apologize. I think I actually need to cut off stream. I might be back later, but I am getting absolutely bodied by waves of pain and fatigue. I need to go lay down. I'm sorry. I was just debating with myself if I should try and push through it or not, but I probably should go lay down. So, hopefully I'll see you guys later today, but more likely I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.